Notice that the word like is being used in a very different way here than usual. The whole thing we're trying to say lies in the difference between the usual like would be that we now abstract the same thing that we're all saying, this likeness that's the same thing, and we paste it up somewhere, and this is what we all are saying, and this is the typical closure of New Age groups, you know, we all have been here and we now all do that, and I always try to go to the bathroom at that point. And then we go away. Well, you see, that's a kind of likeness that it's the old kind of likeness in some sense. We all do that the same way. But that's not what's meant here. What's meant here is exactly that she's saying, well, I took your thing, and by the time I brought it in here and then came out of here, I was doing it with other things. So when it comes out of me again, it's not your thing. It's like, thank you for your thing. You helped me, but now I'm saying my thing, right? And so if we talk about how we're all can cross with each other, this crossing is a different thing than the old kind of like, where a likeness falls out and leaves all the living things behind, and all you get is the abstract likeness. Now, I know that. So now if that's really clear, then I don't have to be scared talking about something here in the middle which we all share. Briefly, this is my say. I call it interrupting group process. We're socially taught to pretend that what we've been trying to say for the last 20 minutes is a response to the last person who spoke. This puts the last person who spoke into this kind of position, and then they have to defend themselves because nothing that another person brings out is going to be related to what the last person said in that way. Now, there's some underground way where we are all coming from the same place in some sense, but let's do that. Let's have your uniqueness and give room for it, because if you're going to say it to Dee, she's going to have to come back and say that isn't what I meant, and then you're going to not get a decent response. Trying to separate the space of two people so each of them can use words and abstractions to carry them forward, and something bad happens when there isn't first the separation. After the separation, there is the crossing. And I keep saying, now wait, don't assume that the crossing happens before the separation, because you might be using the word soggy in a way that would destroy what the previous person wanted to say, and also then when they respond to you will destroy what you wanted to say, because they'll go on and tell you about what they meant, and it'll be so if we first have that and you make a separate space for the other person so their thing can breathe, and then you get a separate space for so your thing can breathe, then they're both present, and then they can cross. And then the relationality will be true. So that helped a lot. Is that all right? See, that's nice now, what Mary was saying. There is no way to say what crossing means in abstract terms. It doesn't work there. If you take two different concepts, if you merge them, you just disorganize them. Then you have hash. You know, the beauty of concepts is that they're sharp. They have some kind of power. If you say, well, a little of this and a little of that, you got nothing. Reconciling means going to a third one, which just usually makes it 3 instead of 2. Then you still have more. Crossing is when the words that are being used carry the felt sense forward. So, for example, yesterday when for a moment I was responding to your felt sense, you know, and you came out of there and you said, I'm having a problem with you said, from this energy place. You remember?
Yes, sure. I remember a lot more than that.
Okay. Well, whatever those words were in that moment when you were speaking from right here, those words, they're not just structures, they're carrying that forward. So whatever they carry forward can cross with any other patterns cross. As abstractions, they can't cross. Did I make sense? That'd be an achievement if I did. Okay, now wait, crossing shouldn't stay so vague. Crossing is something that's very clear. If you have conceptual systems, they cannot cross, meaning they just disorganize each other. But if you let the conceptual system carry your experience forward, or if you notice that it already has, that is not in graph paper. That is not in little boxes. That is not disorganized. When, having expressed it with this concept, you bring that one over, because the carrying forward that it has done is not already in certain units. So what seems like a contradictory concept at the abstract level can carry the same experiencing further forward. Right? Or you can say a metaphor always does that. And then you say, now how shall I explain this metaphor to somebody who didn't understand it? Somebody says to you, what does that mean? You know, why does it do, I don't get it. You can talk for 20 minutes about one metaphor, because all the different meanings have crossed in such a way that now if you talk about same and different and what the concept means, everything is all a little different. Okay, that's an abstract story about crossing.